So,
so how does your club work? I mean, what do you exist for?
to promote the song contest and every aspect of the song contest, to just keep support alive.
Do you think that perhaps there would be more support for the Eurovision Song Contest if there were better songs for it? Because there's a great deal of criticism about the level of songs these days, that they're all sort of boom, bang, a bang, ding, a ding, etc., sort of all in one, you know. Well,
no, they're not all boom, bang, a bang and ding, a ding. We haven't had a boom, bang, a bang for quite some time. Actually, if you do look at the charts, you'll see that a lot of the songs are very commercial and wouldn't go amiss if they were in the song contest themselves. Can
I just bring in Neil Innes here? Neil, hello, are you still there,
yes,
Neil? Hello. Now, Neil, you specialise, when you did the Ruttles and on the Innes Book of Records, I mean, you kind of specialise in the pastiche of popular songs. I mean, nobody knows how to write a popular song better than you do. What do you think of the Eurovision Song Contest?
Well, if I was a Yugoslavian, you know, what can you say about Yugoslavia? A friend of mine went there on holiday out of season, was swimming in a pool and it was emptying. But, I've forgotten the question now. I'm trying to be witty.
What do you think of the song contest,
I do think it did went through a stage when the songs did get very boom, boom, ding-a-ling, ponky, ding. In fact, it isn't that long ago before we had Dig-a-loo, Dig-a-lay, Life is Going My Way, In My Boots of Gold from Sweden. So, I mean, I'm happy to say, though, I totally concur with that this year there has been a much higher standard of songs. You know, the ballads have been very good, particularly, and it's tough luck on Scott, because I think they were both good songs.
Yeah, but in your days when you were with the Bondsdog Doodah Band and everything, I mean, would you even then have ever contemplated writing a Eurovision Song Contest? Because some genuine pop figures like Roy Wood and people like that, they put in entries for the Eurovision Song Contest.
Well, I have actually written mine. It was called Hey, Mr. Eurovision Song Contest Man, and I think it about says it all, really. I mean, I think they tend to play it nearly every year as a kind of reminder of those dark days.
Yes.
But on the whole, the good thing about the Eurovision is that it is an international event, and as such, I'd rather see international events like that rather than fighting and hooliganism.
It does give way to a lot of jingoism, though, as witnessed this morning, doesn't it? I mean, because we've had calls. Julie Sharp from Stockport, have France ever voted for the UK, she says.
Yeah, I think that's a great shame. You know, people do take that side of it too seriously, the joy of people competing. I was going to say, I think the programme itself is a bit too long. It's a bit of a... But there again, the excitement of it, and it really should be the fun of competing. And I think Scott's got a hit on his hands anyway. I mean, 1 point, it's a hit.
Good, thank you very much, Neil. We're going on to the phone now to Ken Jones in Wrexham, who has something to say about all the jingoism, I think. Ken, hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Like Ivan from Shrewsbury, I'm quite a fan of the contest, and I think it's a very high standard, excellent staging, but I think people do take it far too seriously. It's entertainment, after all. It's not to decide the fate of the world or anything like that. I think Scott, unfortunately, was let down by a very average song that was borne out by the fact it is only a minor hit in Britain. If all these people like it, why don't they go out and buy it and make it even more of a hit?
Well, harsh words there. Would you like to say anything back, or are you too bruised and battered?
No, I'm okay, you know. I'm not, you know, I'm a typical normal Glaswegian man, and we do come back again, you know.
So
we do not lie down for it, you know.
So what are you going to say to Ken about your average song?
I don't think it's an average song. That's a matter of opinion, Ken. I think Forsyth, I mean, she wrote this song 4 years ago, don't forget. And when it came to me, and I did hear the song, and in actual fact, Julie was actually singing it, and I thought, it's really a smashing song. I mean, after all, it got so far. I mean, it was voted by the public themselves. For the very first time in the Eurovision, the public were actually asked to vote for which song and which artist they wanted to
Did you like the Swiss song?
The Swiss song, I actually did. I actually put 10 quid on it. I did. So I won in one way or other, you know. I did like, it was always a danger. There was 4 dangers. There was Switzerland, there was Germany, and there was Norway was always in my mind. Oh, I think it was a lovely song. Come on, Ken.
No, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad song.
No.
I just think it's an average song. You know, you could have done a lot better with something different.
Perhaps if people play it, then it would help. That's the problem as well.
But this is what we're all talking about, isn't it? That I mean, we've had questions, Martin, about, you know, why don't we have Stock, Aitken and Waterman. I can never remember the permutations of that name. Why don't they do it? Because they're responsible for Kylie Minogue and all that.
I don't think I could comment for Peter or on his behalf, but if you... I think everybody has to realise that when the song is entered first, there are between 200 and 600 songs entered. All the writers are anonymous, the artists are anonymous. When I started in this business, I started organising it, and you ought to see the amount of names that are actually there. There are a lot of big names, and unfortunately they just don't get through to the finals, to the Song for Europe, to actually represent. So
Right.
they are there.
We have to go to Liam Miller now in Dublin, who was the executive producer of the Song Contest. Liam, hello.
Good morning.
We've had questions. Why did the end credits roll over the song, the winning song? That was at the end, because we were left with a sort of a bit of a pause at the end. And why was a Canadian allowed to represent Switzerland? Could you deal with those reasonably briefly, Liam?
Well, if I could deal with the question of why was a Canadian allowed to represent Switzerland, it is a song contest, and there is nothing in the rules of the song contest that deals with nationality. We have had, particularly in the case of Luxembourg over the years, a situation where people from the United Kingdom, from Ireland, from Greece, and a number of other countries have represented Luxembourg as singers.
Right, so it is a song contest, not a singer contest. Could you... Briefly, there was a bit of a hoo-ha about the way it sort of ended with a whimper, not a bang. Why did that happen?
Well, we had always made the decision that, principally for what has happened to the artists in recent years at the end of the show, when it has been quite frightening when the entire international press descend on them, we had decided to go with the end credits on the reprise. They did come in a couple of seconds too early. I think there was, as you can imagine, a lot of surprise and tension because of that very last vote ending.
Liam, we're running out of time very quickly, and I must also ask you the question that came up earlier. Do the judges in the various countries hear the other countries' votes?
Absolutely not. Not the jurors. The important thing to remember is that the chairman of the jury does not vote. There is a lawyer with each jury, and they vote at the end of each song in the final. Before we went into the entertainment item, they had voted for every song, and that is overseen by the EBU, who send a lawyer to each jury throughout Europe.
Right. Okay.
Could I just say one final comment?
One second, Liam, that's all we've got. One second.
Just to say that, and this is a personal comment, I didn't find Scott's song an average song. It was one of the haunting sort of melodies that kept with you all week throughout rehearsal.
I think whatever else we've got out of this morning, we've had a great deal of support from Scott. Thank you for coming along. Thank you, Martin. That's all for today.